What's good, YouTube? I'm actually joined here by Dzeeff, and Nadir just released a pretty long video. Glasgow Yu-Gi-Oh! Here talking about basically that he needs a break from tubing and a really lot of reasons why that just kind of remind us that, hey guys, we're human, and this actually is a huge amount of work. And I think more than ever in my comment section lately, I get a lot of people saying, keep up the great work, keep up doing this, keep up content. Content's a really funny word to me because, like, I'm newer to YouTube, even though I've been here almost 2 years now, not quite. And it's always just seemed like a funny word to me because, like, I see each video as its unique thing. I've never thought of it as content or, you know, that kind of thing. But basically, he's talking about it's just backbreaking to do this daily and that he wants to switch. And unfortunately, I'm going to say now that it's kind of a mistake to do that. But if you're doing tubing not as a source of work, not as a source of, like, getting known, not as a source of whatever, but for yourself, for fun, as a hobby, then I would agree with it. One thing that's really special about Rank 10 is that he has the Reddit community behind him. I would say he's like the king of the Reddit community, and Kamina Cat, I guess, would be the queen, in a sense, odd enough. But
yeah,
there's three huge powers, I think, in Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube, and that's YouTube itself, Reddit, and then Zodiac Duelist. And Zodiac Duelist is a lot less fair in a sense of what they'll pay attention to. But the other two will almost give anything a shot and watch it. And daily uploads are now, like, helped out by the algorithm that is there. They're actually just insanely favored. They'll pop up in more sidebars, especially if they're, like, 3 days old. And, like, I don't have my sidebar showing on screen, actually, but every single video says new on my sidebar right now, right next to his video.
Right, and what John's kind of alluding at here is, if you don't know, if you're a content creator and you want to know, because you really should know, your videos are really only advertised for about 3 days, unless they go quote-unquote viral or whatever. And I mean, viral in the Yugitubing community is a little bit different. It could be something with like 10K views or 20K views. That would be a big video for the average YouTuber, that is. But anyway, daily uploads are so important because your videos are really only shown for 3 days, even to your subscribers. I know that a lot of people, myself included, still use like the subscription feed on the YouTube homepage or the YouTube app. But the actual YouTube homepage is what most people are going to use, and it's what comes up when you first bring up like the app on your phone or if you first type in YouTube. And that's really it's videos that YouTube is recommending that you watch. And sometimes those are subscription videos, sometimes they're picking off of like your recent history and showing you videos. So if you just like marathoned a whole bunch of videos from House of Champions, then a lot of your homepage is going to be House of Champion videos. But generally speaking, after that 3-day period, it's really hard to get your stuff promoted. So the daily uploads are really important for that. And there's all this stuff that relates to it. I mean, John and I have talked about this a lot, and I've done a lot of my own research on it. But the important thing is that your current video is getting featured more based on how well your last video in the last 3 days did. So like if you, and this is why like clickbaiting doesn't really work, because like if you constantly clickbait people,
the watch time goes down, yeah.
Yeah, the watch time is going down, and then like maybe your first clickbait video got like 15,000 views, let's say. Like you posted the ban list is out and people are freaking out and scrambling for it. But then the next video you post, even though that last one got 15,000 views, the next one only gets 1,000 because now people have caught on. And then the video after that is only getting featured to like 500 people, and then it just goes down from there, which is why like creating a consistent audience is a lot better than like creating clickbait. But that's just sort of like the algorithm thing.
And even with like Nadir's like audience here that's going to be there, it's like if you're doing one a week, it's going to show up less. That's why Yugimation's recent dual terminal video did so poorly compared to his other animated shorts. He hadn't uploaded in a time. YouTube actually very much hurts people that don't upload regularly. Rank 10's kind of an anomaly in the community because he has Reddit backing him. He has all these people saying, hey, look at this, oh my gosh, he's uploaded, here he is. And then he has other communities like that are smaller, like Discord, that spread the word. But overall, he's on a lot of different social medias, also like Twitter, and it's all these factors combined that make his like videos go so much above his subscriber count to an insane amount of views. Almost every single video is over almost triple his subscriber count that he does.
Yeah, and you just have to realize as like a YouTuber, if you're getting this, is that that's like not regular at all. Like it is awesome when videos get more than like your subscriber count, but realistically, it's the consistent uploads that get like a consistent number of views that really keep your channel alive in this community right now. And like I've been on both sides. 2 months ago, I was posting one video a week. They were getting, I don't know, average like 15 or 1.5 to 3K views. And then the past 3 weeks, I've really worked on doing daily uploads, and I've seen not only my subscribers go way up. I mean, we're talking like 1,000 subscribers in 1 month, but like my ad revenue going up, that the overall watch time going up, the views going way up, like 700% from last month. And it is just like it's tough, and that's kind of what I talked about in my own video. Is that like getting that daily content is really hard, and I don't know. I can see how like Glasgow is really wanting to take a break. I mean, he posts a shit ton of content, so I can see how he would be really tired of it. And he mentions in his video, which you should check out, even though it is 30 minutes long, that he's working 40 hours a week. So he gets home, and it's like after a full work day of a job, he says he doesn't like. He then has to make YouTube content on top of that, and that's just like not feasible for everyone. I mean, that's really tough.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm gifted with the fact that I wake up, I work out, I come home, I decide what to upload or make a video to upload and do that, and then I work from home, and then I get to later that night stream and create more content like the tournament series. And a lot of my current one, I would say, doesn't take much thought for me. I made a living buying and selling cards for a while, and I still work for vendors and shops and do that sort of thing. That's why my market watches are so viewed, because it's actual advice from the inside of somebody who's done this for a living before. And then on top of that, I still kind of do it. Like right now, my regimen is like picking bulk when I kind of feel like it, because YouTube is going that well for me, because I'm uploading 2 to 3 times a day now. It's not almost never just once a day anymore for me, and because I'm just piling it on YouTube's algorithm. But I'm not doing it to get known. I'm not doing it to get famous. I am doing it to eventually be known, because my dream is kind of to one day open a shop, but as long as I can work out of home, I'm going to work out of home. I don't want an overhead. I don't want those kinds of things. But originally, I had the thought that I was going to be a Twitch streamer, and that YouTube would just be my Twitch replays, and I would never have to work anything on YouTube, and the community just swept me up, took me off of everything that I thought I would ever be. I thought I wasn't going to do deck profiles. Here I am uploading 20 in one weekend. And talking about deck profiles, Nadir's actually talking about that's what's breaking his back, and I can totally relate to that. And I'm pumping out, 20 deck profiles this weekend. 13 were Zoo. There were some very interesting ones too, but I will say that for me, I'm obsessed. When I like something, I'm obsessed. And not a single part of YouTube feels like work to me, except for deck profiles. And the dichotomy of this, as you called it, duality, as I would call it, there are biggest videos, yet at the same time are smallest videos. And golly, it's so much work. It's he said he snapped this. I'm actually at the point, if you go to around here in the video, 27 minutes, he said he just snapped at not being able to find like some stuff for his videos. I have found myself actually banging my like desk and screaming at my computer screen when I have to redo a profile, because I do everything live and through a first read, and I'll like hit to a point where, like, let's say a player did something they weren't supposed to do and I catch that. Or let's say, they messed up. Like a duelist this weekend had a Adamante instead of an Alkahist in the YDK he gave me. After I'd already messed up once, so I've already done it twice. And then, like, this weekend also, my girlfriend accidentally hit the Facebook Messenger call twice. So, like, I'm piling up 20 deck profiles and things keep going wrong, and I'm just screaming at my computer screen, and I stop and I'm like, holy crap. So, like, I really do get that. That part that feels like work is so burnout, even for somebody that has all the time in the world for it. And I can't do what Robbie Cole and Mega Capital G do and do a discussion every day. I give a lot of respect to that they actually come up with something different to talk about every day. All these other things that I have, they're like news updates. They're tournaments that I've already pre-recorded and live streamed and announced. The only thing I'm having to do is keep up with gameplay and how it works. And it's hard to be a competitor too, even with all this time I have. I day 2'd 2 YCSs last year, bubbled them both, and top cut, but like I could tell if I'd been able to have more time to do, I'd be a better competitor, and I probably would have topped those events with having my roommate be Billy. That's a huge insight into the game. If I just worked a little harder instead of doing all this time filming, yes, I could have topped those events 100% guaranteed. I wouldn't have made the misplays that I made. And sometimes it's just like that. And I have to agree with him. I literally told him the other day, you know how he said he wanted to sit down and read a book? I have a much nerdier version of that. I wanted to sit down and watch some anime, but I was making videos and researching.
Yeah, no, and that makes total sense. I mean, I see the comment, I don't know, like once a week, possibly more, or whenever someone asks, like, how can the Yugitubing community be improved? And like one of the top comments every single time is we need Yugitubers that aren't like shitty at this game. I know that that's an oversimplification, and like I think John and I's channels are pretty competitive oriented, but I get what they're saying. They're coming from an area where like pack openers are the biggest channels, and they're obviously like the furthest from competitive YouTubing that you can possibly get. And every single time that gets posted, it's hard because like you can't do both. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's improbable, and it's just something that no one has been really able to figure out, because if you're either spending your time playtesting or you're spending your time building your channel, and like it is not just as easy as like if John just handed over House of Champions to Billy completely and said just just on top of all your testing for events, just also do like daily uploads and like upload all these deck files. It is nearly impossible. And we see channels like Simply Slim Yu-Gi-Oh, who has been in like one of the early Yugitubers that really got up there in subscriber counts, and he's been posting on Facebook pretty much nonstop monthly about how this year he's focusing on playing, not Yugitubing, being a player first, Yugituber second. And I mean, this was something brought up in Glasgow's video. It's something that we've talked about on streams before, but it is just, yeah, you have to pick one, and it sucks, right? Because like in an ideal world, you could do both. You could test with your friends, you could test online, you could talk theory, and then you could post videos about it. But realistically, one has to come before the other. And I don't know if you feel differently, but I feel very strongly about that. I feel that you're focusing on one or the other. And as much as you can try to balance them, I feel like one always wins out before another. There has to be a breaking point there where you decide, am I going to test a little bit longer for this event, or am I going to get a video up about this event? And I think depending on how big your channel is or how big you want it to be, you're going to choose one or the other, and it's maybe going to be the YouTube one.
I'm going to share screens with you for a bit, and I want to show what I'm talking about a Twitch replay channel. You'll see how I started. It starts out with Billy's winning profile, and then it starts out like with me doing like stuff from Troll until I get my setup. Finally, we get our setup, and it's actually not on screen here. Well, actually, okay, these second duels, and it just kind of explodes. And then I do my first deck profile. I think I'm a revolutionary here. You want to see how revolutionary John Moore is? Oh man, guys, it is not at all. Listen to this voice. I don't even have a full sideboard here. Listen to this pep. Listen to this entertainment, so to speak. Oh, top 100 on DN rated. Look at my Yosenjus. This is some suggestions on side decks. Like, oh man, this is when from the perspective of I'm a Twitch replay channel and I'm a player. I'm a duelist. I'm coming back being a duelist. Tons of duels, tons of duels, tons of duels. And the moment I really break out of that kind of habit, we see my first YCS and I upload some profiles, and then more duels. We start doing profiles. Where's the actual content where I start being me besides like my D and stuff? Like here's my first one, like Robert Boyajian interview, and I'm just this guy who like thought like I was going to be a Twitch guy, and the YouTube community grabbed me and wrapped me and said, basically, no, you can be so much more. I start doing lore videos. This is one of my, like, Nadir actually talked about lore videos. Then I start doing instructional things, mechanics of the battle step with Juraghetto and rulings people didn't know. I got a few rulings wrong here and there, like flipping the whoops. I think I even made a video on that where I thought, like, pulling the rug could, like, in a chain to something, stop something else that it couldn't. And we just keep going, and then I start doing small news updates that are kind of fun and casual. Most expensive card game item ever made. This 200 grand, like, Millennium Puzzle. We keep going, and, like, this channel evolves into something that starts uploading more often, doing more. We start the tournament series with Robbie Cole, and that's the first time I ever looked out at YouTube, ever. And the thing is like, Oh man, like that's looking at Yugitubers actually, not even YouTube. I start like paying attention to them and what they're doing, and then I evolve more, and then we start having our interviews, and we start interacting with the community more deck profiles, more of this, and like it becomes so much on your shoulders to keep up with though, and none of this takes a lot of thought like discussions though. I'm not having to think, I'm just having to be a player up to this point, and then finally, as we keep going, we'll start getting into points where, like, I have to think of what I'm creating. A card of the week, that I don't do that anymore. I don't force myself into any kind of weekly series. I could quit Market Watch for 3 weeks. I know a ton of people would beg, but I, could just quit it. Oh, the first Market Watch, 10 months ago. The first one after Houston. I thought I was the coolest guy ever. I got it from Robbie. And then, like,
yeah, really great arrow on the thumbnail there.
Here's 1 minute. You can barely see this. Explaining Yu-Gi-Oh to older people and people who don't play. I like take something like how I used to like explain it to people like my grandma and stuff. Like that. I think it's like stuff. Stuff like this is actual stuff like that. You have to think of, have to create, have to do, and why this is actually a big one for me. Why more women don't play Yu-Gi-Oh? Like this is actually just continuously, slowly gained views, even though it's only at 6,000. For this part of my channel, this was big for me. How to trade online, being safe trading online. Look, there hasn't been a Market Watch in a while here either. There's one over here once a month for that part. But you evolve and you become more and you do more and you be more and eventually you feel it on you. Eventually you find yourself yelling at your computer screen, no matter what. It is that way. And we look at my most popular videos, top 10s. I hate top 10s. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do not like top 10s because I don't think they make you a better player, but I like them for the discussion aspect. I don't like the video itself. I like the comment section. And then we have Billy Break deck profile. Sorry, I'll give you 1 second after this. It's like my top 10 videos, top 10s, as we joke. 1 top 10, 2 top 10, Billy Break, Monarch deck profile, another deck profile. Top 10, House of Champs, Billy Break for Scott. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 there. It's just, man, none of that took too much thought. And even the top 10s, I'm placing things in order. The Bosch one, you go back, it's completely wrong. This January one, pretty decent. Go ahead now.
Yeah, you got better at it. Yeah. I was going to mention something we touched on earlier and something, yeah, I mean, the main part of, like, redoing deck profiles, but, like, realistically, like, I don't know, I'm really bad at having to redo things. I mean, I sit here at this desk and I have to redo a video, like, 6 times. My girlfriend and I have to listen to, like, the first minute of every video I make, like, 6 times. But even with, like, us, both of the Casual Fridays that we've done, we had to redo them a second time, and that's, like, time and effort that you have to spend. Like I had to spend, like, getting on my computer, setting on my microphone, getting back on the Skype call, and then, like, saying a lot of the same things over again without, like, trying to, like, die on the inside because, like, you just said this, like, 10 minutes ago. And it's like, that might not seem like a big deal, like having to redo something a couple times, but when you're doing it for, like, hundreds of videos, and I'm not saying, I mean, you're not doing it for hundreds of videos because you're, like, bad at making videos. It's just, like, everyone, like, you just can't get everything right on the first try. I can remember, one of my most recent videos here, a Subterror Zodiac combo. I had to redo that video 7 times, and not because I messed up anything huge. It's because I messed up the second step of the combo 7 times in a row, and it might seem like, wow, like, do you even know what the fuck you're doing? But, like, it was just something that was just stuck in my brain that, like, I had to, and it was really simple. It was just like, oh, you're, like, acting a barrage to pop the Subterror that summons from deck, and, like, all I had to do was summon the Subterror in face down position, and I kept summoning it in face up defense position, and I would go through, like, the whole combo, and then be like, I'd get to the very end where you need it to be face down, and I'm just like, well, I screwed this up, so I have to redo this over and over again, and it's just like, it got to me. Like, I can see how having to do that, like, a lot of times. I don't usually have to redo them that many times, but, like, that, honestly, that was really getting to me at the end there, and I finally did it correctly, thank God. But, like, man, messing up, like, multiple videos in the same week is really annoying, especially with deck profiles. If, God forbid, a Yugituber ever make a mistake on pronunciation or maybe, like, a reasoning for a tech choice. I know that, like, John tries to alleviate that problem by, like, having them send, like, a tournament report, but, like, if you get, like, anything wrong, I mean, you are getting chastised in the comment section. It is just, it's crazy. It really is. Like, I probably more than anyone else have gotten like, roasted just for incorrectly pronouncing card names, and, like, yeah, that gets to you. I mean, I'm pretty good at pronouncing things, but I know Beatrice I pronounced incorrectly in like one video, and like 20 comments within the first couple hours were just like, "Why are you pronouncing this incorrect?" And like, do we really need like 20 comments on that? Like, don't you think I got it by the first like 10, or even like the first one that had like a couple likes on it? It's just you don't like YouTubers are like people too. Like I know that there are personalities on YouTube, and I had someone comment on my video that I made about this topic yesterday or whatever, where he's just like posting like, you can't like bitch about being a YouTuber because like you're choosing to do this, and like if you're trying to post daily, like you're just trying to make the algorithms go towards your favor to be rich and famous or whatever. But like I think most people that are doing this actually love doing this because it's so much effort and you take so much scrutiny to not be doing this because you love it. Like you would just be making more like working any minimum wage job, but we're doing this because we like producing the content. And I don't know, just when someone pronounces something wrong in a video, it's just really try to hold yourself back from like killing them over it.
Yeah,
That's
I did the Eye of Timaeus, or I guess Timaeus. I don't know which one it is now. I'm confused. I think it's Timaeus. Wrong in this video. I got a ton of comments on it. But the thing is, I know I'm gonna mess up. I'll make a joke at myself before you can. I'll mess things up harder than you can expect me to. And I love doing things what I call breaking in my audience. I get a ton of new subs. I love to force my humor on them. Like this one, the rate set joke review with Olympio, where we just take every card and like comment on it based on its picture and like kind of give it a new name. And let's look at this newer content versus my older ones that I just said. Like here's a news thing. There's not as much news like on my old stuff. Here's a market watch. Here are 20 deck profiles from a about 24-hour period. Here's a tech update where I'm actually talking about cheap and like tech cards, so I'm talking about both gameplay and investability. Another market watch, that joke set review. Here's pull ratios from the set that I got from a major vendor. Then we have like the dual series. We have a highlight of an artist. Actually going to do another one tomorrow, which I guess will be today if you're seeing this video, Valentine's Day. Then we have another market watch. We have another market watch. We have a massive 30,000 attack Numeron Dragon combo where I've actually animated and edited like stuff to happen for the combos and shown me drunk on stream combo. More tournaments, Epic Table Talk. This is actually Billy's brainchild. Billy's like first like real continuing segment on the channel. Another market watch, another duel, a completely created format that we're actually going to do a tournament on. Like all this creation now versus the brain deadness that I used to have. But the thing is, I have the luxury of sitting there and picking bulk and being able to have a journal next to me and write down every idea that comes to my mind, rather than I'm at work, I can't write that down. Oh shit, I forgot what that is. Crap, I lost my idea. That kind of stuff. And I even still lose ideas despite having all this luxury, quote unquote, to do it. But like, also the moment I have an idea, like this one, we have our Dzeeff top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Wrong typing cards. The moment I thought of it, I'm like, hey Dzeeff, you're perfect for this. Let's do it. And I'll hit you up about other ideas that I have, and you'll be like, oh crap, I already read this when I want to do a pure reaction. That's actually going to be coming with Glasgow at some point, probably not this week now that he's taking a break. And then regional coverage. Oh, that's huge. This is, with regionals mattering, I think investing into this is actually going to pay off huge, having done this. But like, and then we get into more deck profiles from last week. So like, this is 60 videos in 2 weeks, guys. Do some math, but literally, it does break your back at points. And you can say, oh, it's just videos, it can't be that hard. If you can do it better, come and do it. Come for me. Like, come do this. I'm aiming for the top. Simply Unlucky, you may have 20 times the subs I have about, but guess what? I'm coming for you. Because I want to be the best at what I'm doing. I want to be the best. And like Nadir was saying, I'm his target. Simply Unlucky is mine. Everybody else, your footsteps. But yeah, seriously,
that was wild in his video when he mentioned that at one point he was ahead of you on subs, and like I can't even like remember.
It was actually Nationals last year, and I remember I actually thought this is the point my channel stops growing. My channel was teetering. It was actually just insanely almost like break even because Nationals, everybody competitive, and my channel was only competitive, was just like teetering on like not caring about the current format. Nationals was so figured out, all that stuff. It really hurt, and that's when I took, and he passed me by 1.5K right at that time, and I just sat down and I said, I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to learn video editing. I'm going to become much better at what I'm doing. I'm gonna pass him back, and I did. And the thing is,
that's kind of what I've gone through with you like 3 weeks ago, where I just like sat down. I was like, okay, I know this is tough, but like teach me Photoshop, like teach me how to title things so that like my channel can grow. And it's a lot of work. Like it's funny because I've always sort of marketed my channel as like something that's really like low key and like something that I just don't put a ton of effort into, which really isn't anything to brag about. But recently I put a lot more work into thumbnails and creating videos that I think people are actually going to watch and that are worth getting shared around. But yeah, that's a lot more of my time that's being taken up versus like one video a week.
Yeah, thumbnails definitely, like, the more you do them, the better you get at them, the quicker you are, but the more you care, the more you want to show it off. Thumbnails matter a lot, guys, and, like, that's another aspect. And, like, Netier's like, you've gotten really good at those recently, and I've been kind of trying to show him how, like, I am doing these kinds of ones, and he can create his own style, because I'm sure he doesn't want to encroach and just copy the exact style that I've kind of, like, made here that no one else is doing with, like, the 3 things on deck profiles. But, like, that's kind of my go-to now. And then I have, like, the 5 card things on here. You can tell I put a lot more work into that, because that's the first thing they see. That's how you get them to click.
Yeah.
And you have to worry about
final
stuff.
Thoughts? Sorry.
Having to worry about stuff like that sucks, because you just want to be able to post it and get known. And people will say, this is my final thought, actually. People always say, so-and-so doesn't deserve their subs, you deserve so many more subs, to not just me, other people. Everyone's where they deserve to be. Exposure is not by... there is an aspect to luck of exposure, but everyone in Yugitubing is through long, hard work, dedication, and just because somebody puts more effort into their videos does not mean that they deserve to be ahead. It means that they've like gone in a way. To say that like you deserve more is like saying, well, stop paying attention to how YouTube works, like you just deserve it. And that's not right. You have to look at all these factors in order to get ahead.
Yeah, that's actually really similar to what I usually reply to people that comment on videos. I mean, I used to get it a lot, saying like when I was at like 4,000 subs or 5,000 subs, like people would come and be like, "Man, you like deserve more subs," and like my immediate reply would just be like no, I don't. Like I have exactly as many subs as I deserve, and I think that's like a really hard pill to swallow for especially smaller channels. That like, I mean, I see people on Zodiac post about it all. I know I'm going on like another tangent, but I'll make it quick. I see people on Zodiac a lot of times post like videos and like, I don't know why I don't have subs, and like I go to their channel because why not? I'm bored. And every video is just all caps, all exclamation points. Their description is follow me on Twitter with all caps, all exclamation points. And their only videos are just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro replays with music behind them. And they're like, I deserve more subs. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, not at all. So just try harder. And it's really tough. Like, realizing that you have room to grow for some people like me, and I think for John as well, is like really exciting because that gives you new things to try out and new things to do. But for some people, it's like, I don't want to grow at all. My channel should just have more subs naturally, just out of thin air. But people just don't appear out of thin air. You have to actually work for them. I don't know. There's my pro tip there.
And to anybody who wants to say things like, oh, you shouldn't be complaining, it's YouTube, it's this, it's that. We're not exactly complaining. A, we're like responding, and B, saying our own griefs. Everybody has grief. Everybody has stress. Trying to compare whose is worse is not the point here. It gets to you no matter what you do when you do a repetitive task over and over. And to me, like I said, the only repetitive task are deck profiles. I do it for the community. They actually probably hurt my channel overall when I spam these. People don't want to click that bell. They don't want notifications, even though they're there for market watches. And they're getting hit up 20 times in, this hour of 24 hours. Almost a video an hour, basically, on average, for every single weekend that there's events. Yeah, that hurts my channel, but I do it for everybody. Like I said, deck profiles are my biggest, and they're also my smallest. Like, there's when's the last time I got just 1,000 views on a video? Look for my deck profiles, Like, I'm sure there's one throughout this weekend. Yeah, 1490 here, this Lubbock, Texas deck profile. Like, they will be my smallest videos. They will also be some of my biggest. Like, look, I wonder if I only posted 2 deck profiles a week. And these first 2, the DDD Yangzing, 8,500. The first Zodiac one, almost 10K. Then there's not another Zodiac over, I believe, 3K except for the live profile here. Like, should I stop? I don't want to. I want to do it for you guys, but it is a lot of work. It is an entire day gone, and I don't know where I'm going to go on it myself. I want to keep doing it like I'm doing it, but Zodiac may be the The first format, I have to say I can't take them all. And when you do that to people, imagine if you're a person submitting it, you typed up this entire tournament report, you're like, here, John, here's my list and tournament report, and I'm like, sorry, can't do it, man. But you did his, yeah, but I don't want another one of these. Like, how can I do that to somebody? How are they when they top with something interesting, why would they bring it to me after that? Like, you know, they did all that work for me. I want to do it back for them, even though I find myself yelling at my computer screen.
Right, and there's always people that comment when you ask about that. I know you pitched this before where people have said like, oh, why don't you just like put all the Zodiac profiles into one video? And it's like, you can't do that because like the 8th person on that video is gonna be like, why the hell am I 8th? Like, why was I, like, no one's watching my profile? And like, it's just tough. You have to make people feel special for like topping, because like everyone when they top thinks they're like really special, but then like they don't appreciate that for other people. I mean, it could be that person's first regional top. You have no idea. They could be really proud of it.
I got a ton of that this weekend. I got a ton of people that said this is my first top. That DDD Yangzing, Hunter Lloyd, he's actually done several casual Fridays with me. He just topped our Zodiac tournament. 15-year-old, that's his first regional top, and this is really special to him. He deserves his own place here, you know? Stephen Roach, this is actually one that's going to hit 10K. This was his first regional top, even though he's been running PPG's media a lot at events. You know, it's actually just special places for them. Like, that's what I wish I had, and that's why I do deck profiles. And I know I've stressed this before on the channel, but I do this because if I had something like this back when I topped 23 total regionals, I could look back at some of the wackiest decks. I topped with a 58 card final countdown deck, playing triple Fairy Box, triple Sasuke Samurai, and then I lost turn 20 to the Manticore loop in Duel 3, turn 20 of final countdown. I lost to the Manticore loop end phase. Like, I wish I could go look back at like 14-year-old me talking into the camera, or like even listen to myself from back then. And like, I have Pojo threads like for my tournament reports, but that's just not the same. Like, I wish I could go back and really kind of look. And I didn't do like a lot of regionals because I was like, they're regionals, but I kind of wish I had. I like, especially my travel ones. Like, you know, this is for them. That's what this is for. And the channel is not for myself. It's for everybody else. Like this news like I did today. I'm like, I got home with my girlfriend after lunch. I'm like, hey, go upstairs. I'm going to do a quick video. And actually, she's upstairs now, waiting for me, you know, like to come say hi before I go pick up Billy from the airport. Like, that's just kind of what Yugitubing does. Like he said, he's going to take Glasgow's going to take the week off to like hang out with his wife. Like, I personally feel that if I stop, I'm a shark that stops swimming. And like, I feel almost like I have to, but at the same time, it's because I am obsessed. I enjoy this. This is what I want to do. And that's why I'm going to keep doing tournaments and regional coverage. And stuff like regional coverage is a blessing. So you notice, like, actually, my break day, quote unquote, I prepare 2 of the regional rounds, and I get to like upload them, and then I have that day off. If you notice, I actually got to take, I got to take 2 days off the other week. Oh, baby. It's so rough uploading daily, and I like I said, I couldn't do a discussion every day like Robbie and CapG. Kudos to them, and that's why I can understand why the straw that breaks their backs are their comment section, because everything's discussion based.
Yeah.
Any final notes from yourself here?
Not really. I mean, you guys can go check out my video. I'm sure it'll be linked somewhere. You can check out my channel. I had some other thoughts that I didn't really feel like I needed to repeat, but basically just like another perspective on this, but a shorter perspective. Whoops, as I hit my microphone. A shorter perspective on it, on some of my other thoughts with just like Yugitubing and exhaustion for it. But yeah, I was just here for the discussion. Yeah,
I'll be leaving Glasgow's and Dzeeff's links down below. But yeah, I know this is a video about tubeception here, and then a response video on top of it. But guys, just remember, like, the community is awesome. We're human. Don't take it as like us complaining about you guys. And similar to how like Glasgow said to leave a comment below, I'm gonna leave a cooler card than Cypher, even though Cyphers are cool. We're gonna have DDD Gus King Alexander. Just put DDD if you made it this far for us guys. But definitely Glasgow, I can understand where you're coming from, but don't be that shark that stops swimming. But also don't let YouTube break you. Find a way to be able to upload things throughout the week, even if they're deck profiles. Even if you just knock them all out in one day and then just upload one a day. You're in your own area, and a lot of people don't get those deck profiles. So like, just upload those, one a day, even if you have to stretch it out. But the algorithm really does make or break channels, so you actually need to continue that if you want to continue to grow and come after me. All right, I guess that's gonna be it here.
Yeah.
All right.